Yeah, so we just came off such a heavy week, and thanks, Britt, for the reminder. And so, there's a lot of content, there was a lot of excitement, and then it ends, and you're kind of like, okay, where do I go now? And how do I translate that into where I want to go, right? Whether that be, how do I want to translate that into the oils that I'm using, or what my next LRP order is, or in my business? And how am I going to share this information in my business? If you're a customer, how I'm going to share this information to my friends, to my loved ones. And so I was hoping that this call would be a connection, one last connection for our Go Drop team, and a transition into now. What are our biggest takeaways, and where can we go from here? The best advice that I can give you is that share. It doesn't have to be this heavily educated like presentation or a class. It can literally be like, my team calls this oil Tulsi Gabbard, and it's just good for patients. I'm going to remember it as Tulsi Gabbard. It smells really good. The proper name is Tulsi Holy Basil, and I'm going to keep it on my desk. And so I'm hoping that you're going to get this oil as well. It only comes in the convention, the Connection Pursue kit, and it's an exclusive oil. So I hope you get that soon before it sells out. It's just like more natural and easy to kind of navigate because you're just sharing it. It's not, so Tulsi Gabbard is used in these ways, and it's this price. You can only get it here. That works too, but I think people connect a little more when you share it as a story. When you're sharing about connection, as far as like, it was such a cool event, this is what I thought was cool, instead of let me look at my notes and this is what I want to go over with you. I think people will connect with that more when you're like, this is what I learned and this is what I'm excited about. However, there's so much great science. Take the science, put it into, hey, this is what I learned about immunity. There's innate and there's adaptive immune systems. Did I even say that right? Innate? Innate. Yes, I memorized. Innate and adaptive, two parts of your immune system. One is your skin and one is your cells, whatever it is. And because of that, I want to show you the products that we can implement into protecting our whole immune system. Easy. It's not easy, but the way you say it and the way they receive it is going to be easy. Okay, so our connection recap, here we go. Just to bring it back, remember that it started with day one, our viewing party. We had the new product reveal, which was about like a 36-minute presentation. And so I love that it was short, because you can go back and you can rewatch it over and over again if you would like to, or just a portion of it. The targeted wellness section, I watched, I think, 4 times. Train your brain, because this launches October 1st. And so you're going to want to help everyone else get on that as well, whether that be your customers, your family, your friends, even yourself. Okay. Then day 2, there we started the 6 a.m. sessions. The first one was pure product. And then the next one was wellness, immunity, pure wellness, immunity, right? Day 3 was Friday, pure business practices, pure wellness relief. Then we went into day 4, which was a Saturday. It was a very long Saturday. Pure love of humanity, wellness, mind and mood, and then pure intentions. I want you guys to type in the chat, especially if you've gone to convention before. What was your biggest differences that you've noticed? Or actually, whoever wants to share. Does anyone want to share? What was the biggest difference of going to convention compared to this connection event? What did you like about it? Putting you guys on the spot. Kristen, you're looking at me.
It was different. I think it was still good because I mean, last year when we went, right, and they did the product reveal on that day, I think the biggest feel was being in the room and everybody was just like clapping for each product that they would say, and you were like so excited. And yeah, the in-person was just, you're like, yes, oh my gosh, I want that. But then I think you made it special this year because we were all together on the Zoom room and we were chatting about it. But I feel like because last year, well, even when they reveal it at convention, you don't have it right in front of you, so you can't smell it yet. But you can go to their product showcase, right, and smell it there. So that was the biggest difference, is not being able to actually have it yet while they're doing it. And I don't know, I still liked it. I felt like it was short and sweet. I remember last year with the Adaptive on my iPad, I was just taking pictures of every single screen that they were sharing information about. And this year, I love that we can go back and watch it and like really absorb it. So I feel like that was the biggest difference.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing. I know it's tough not being able to see each other in person and like be together and watch it, but I do feel like they did the best that they could, and we did the best that we could to feel as connected as possible. And doTERRA really concentrated it to get the point across and get everything super simple for us. Anyone else want to share about the difference between convention in real life and connection this year?
I'll share. So obviously in person is 1000% better. But I think having the option to be remote, especially with this like crazy time we're in right now, you're still able to kind of be in your element and in your homes. And, you know, I have 2 kids that are going to school. I could still drop my kid off at school. I could still cook dinner. I can still catch up on all these things that I'm working on. And still be able to, you know, pause, like, what did he say? Shoot, I didn't understand that. I can rewind, you know. Or if something happens and, you know, all of a sudden my dog pees on the ground and I got to clean it up, you know, I can stop the video and then go back later. So I think it's like there's pros and cons to both, in my opinion. And obviously being there in person, you're fully immersed and you take that time for yourself, and you're just like in the zone with your team and with the products and with the people. So of course, you know, you can't really compare that, but I think it was good in this instance to have that virtual option. That's all.
Thanks, Jen. Absolutely. And so, you know, I see Beth, she chatted in, and this is her first year as a builder. And I know that a lot of our new builders, maybe most of us, wouldn't be able to get to Salt Lake City this year. So the fact that you could watch it at home, the reach was so much bigger. On our diamond call, this lady was a diamond, I think for like 10 years. And for some reason, I mean, the last convention, she got 7 of her team there. And this year she got 70 of her teammates there. So even if it wasn't in person, the reach was a little bit farther, which is nice. And I think it gets everyone excited for next year, like to commit to going to the in-person event, right? One last share with anyone, or we can go to the next.
Sorry, I forgot. I had one more thing. Also saved money, right? So the money that we would have invested buying a ticket, booking a hotel room, being in person for all those swag options, we could save that this year and then go all out in 2021 and stay at the Grand America. So yeah, I think that was helpful too, especially with these hard times financially for a lot of people. $35 was a drop in the bucket. So it was a lot more feasible for people to be able to afford it and still get that experience. So yeah, we're saving money and we're going to spend the money next year.
Thanks, Jen. I know I was going to put it out there and be like, hey, are we going to the Grand? So I'm so glad that you guys said that. Slumber party. If we get all of our rooms together, we can open all of our doors and then like run through each door with like ribbons just for fun. Like, yes. Oh my God, you guys. Okay. Anybody else want to share real quick, or we can just move on to our next? Okay. We'll move on. We'll leave off on the hype of we're going next year. Just real quick, I just want to make sure you guys know new product kits. The targeted wellness kits launch October 1st. So there's Mind and Mood, Immunity, and Relief. They do a 3-month subscription, and the first month you're getting the first kit, then it automatically sends you the second month and the third month. Okay, so October 1st. And it's only available on LRP, so there has to be a customer getting it on LRP. And there's going to be a card that comes with each one so that they can implement that that targeted wellness into their daily routine, and it makes it really easy. Corporate was saying that they don't want our products or oils to sit on the shelf. And so when you break it down by wellness with a card, it should be able to help us help our customers implement, really change their health and not just buy the oils. Not that people are buying oils and it's sitting on their shelf, but we want to make sure that they're really utilizing it. The oils in the kit, the bergamot mint, the Davana, and the Tulsi holy basil, Tulsi gabbard, is exclusive. So we can only, it's only available in this kit. So know that if you need to get another one, get another one. And yes, individual sales for Helichrysum Touch. Is there one more? Is October 1st. Diffusers and humidifiers released sometime in October. The Balance Bar, the On Guard toothpaste, and the On Guard wipes isn't available individually till December 1st. And then the holiday items are coming soon, okay? If anyone has a link to the holiday guide, drop it in the chat for me. Don't be overwhelmed, just get prepared. Know that holiday products always get released at convention. So maybe look and then let your customers know when you feel like it's a good time. Products sell out, so you do need to set your alarms for that launch date, which is normally November 1st, but we don't know. We'll wait for it and just expect that it could be around November 1st. Alrighty, okay. So our first session was Pursue Pure Product. I know we have our leaders on the call, Giselle, Britt, Alexis, Aiko. Anybody want to share anything about the Pursue Pure Product session that we had with the founding executives and co-impact sourcing?
I can go. Sorry, my internet's slightly unstable, but I will share. I think out of all the sessions, I was not prepared to cry on the first day of session, 6 a.m. with this one. But I think the message that they shared was so important, and it's a story that I feel like I don't share as much whenever I teach. So I think it was very informative for me to get in tune with why they started the company. I think that hearing that story in the beginning really resonated with me, especially since we are in a pandemic, right? The governor just got off of a press conference before our call talking about the economic impact that it is having on Hawaii. And a lot of people are afraid, and I'm definitely one of them. And to hear that like founding executives just did what was right? They did it with the purest intention to just help people and to impact the most people and not cut corners, just to get money and pay off whatever they put in, right? Or get an income for being an executive or a founder. It totally put into perspective, like, what is my true intention behind it? What is the true intention behind what we do? And if they're starting Pursue with that, that's because they started the company with such a pure intention. And then to go into like all the different sourcing information and like how we work with small farmers, right? I think I like wrote down that we would rather work with 10 farmers that each have 100 acres than work with one farmer that has like 100, sorry, did I make sense with that math? 10 farmers that has 10 acres each, rather than one farmer that has 100 acres to do our products. I love that they have the Behind the Bottle series. They even talked about clove bud, which actually Miley said that we are the only essential oil company that has clove bud oil, whereas others use different parts of the clove plant. So I thought that was like really interesting to make us very unique. Then they released information about like the white grapefruit. And since that was our free product of the month, I never knew that that's where we sourced it from, was like Southern Greece. And I never knew that it's from this one guy that we source it from. And that's his whole like pride and joy is white grapefruit. And just seeing how happy they were to take part and be part of doTERRA. And because they worked with farmers to have such a great reputation of paying their farmers on time and paying the distillers on time and being fair, now farmers want to work with us, right? It puts it in perspective, the seeds that they planted long ago. I honestly really, really loved it. And that's kind of what I took away from that session.
Yeah, totally, Britt. That was so good. And, you know, this is my 4th convention, and even other diamonds who have been diamonds for years, they said, 1, they love hearing the story, and 2, they went really in depth and just showing the pictures and the videos. Like, that was so good to see. Something that really stuck out to me was that Clove Bud family, that family that, you know, they were growing rice and things that like kept them alive. But once they were able to grow clove bud, they could send their son to school and help him, you know, whatever dreams that he wants to do in life, they're able to do that. And when Aiko and I went on that Kenya sourcing trip, something that Rob Young said really stuck out to me. Remember, Aiko, we're on that private airplane to wherever we were seeing the animals. I'm so bad with the location. And he was on the speaker. They're just like presenting to us while we're on this, flying on this plane, and each one of them took turns talking. And he was like, remember, it's not about charity. We're not going to these areas to hand out and be like, you know, here you're gonna want a better house, you're gonna want all these better things, right? He said, my family's dream was, my grandparents' dream was that my dad would graduate from high school. And my dad said that he just wanted me to graduate from college. Right? And so it's baby steps, it's the little things. And so it brought me back to remembering the Clove Bud family and even the Kenyans. It's about giving them a better life in a way that they've earned it. And through generations, up-leveling the whole community around them through school. And then, you know, when they go to school, they get to do bigger things and all those amazing things. Anybody else? Nanyuki. Yeah, I think it was Nanyuki. Anybody else want to share anything about the pure product session?
I'll say something. It's Beth. When I watched that, I actually just thought, like, how am I gonna show this to everybody I know? Like, I wanted every single person that has considered or is like just a new customer or an old customer, like already, I wanted everyone to watch it, because I think it's just like, you kind of know that doTERRA is awesome. Like, you get that idea from the second that you attend a class. But I think it was just like, hold on 1 second, okay? I think like myself, like I didn't even realize how amazing they were. So I did, like, I was so excited. I had to like I told like 5 random people at my job. They're all like, okay, you know, but I was just like so excited. I couldn't stop talking about it. So I finally was like, I'm going to just show somebody. So I put my mom on, I just like turned on the video and then FaceTime my mom and made her watch, and I felt like so excited to share it. And it's just like feels really, really cool that we're a part of a company that like shares something so awesome that we can't help but want to duplicate and share it. So it just made me really, really excited and really, really happy to be a part of something like that.
Thanks, Beth. Awesome. Okay, if anyone has anything else, you can type it in the chat. We'll keep moving. Our first more heavier, I feel like our 6 a.m. sessions were nice because we're like kind of watching and crying, which is like kind of crazy at 6 a.m. in the morning. I was like shaking from my coffee and like tears running down my face. You guys too, not just me. And then like the second half, that next session was very science and facts and all those things. So pursue wellness, immunity. There was a lot here. Hopefully Alexis can help us. Alexis, you want to help us with this? Biggest takeaways.
Sure. Okay, so first off, I want you guys to think back and think about all those people who are like, oh, I don't want to use that because it's toxic, or oh, I don't want to use that because it's whatever, right? Like they don't truly understand how something works or why something is bad. And that just, if you're on my team, you guys know that just sends me just through the roof. I'm like, wait, why is it bad? And I'll get on them. But I think for me, the physiology behind how our immunity system works was just mind-blowing for me, because you learn about that in biology class, right? And like my fiance is a biology teacher, so I hear him talking about all these things. But basically, for you guys who you know, we're listening to this session, think about your immune system as like a castle fortress, right? And your innate system is that wall, your castle barriers. That's your skin, your mucous membrane, your stomach acid. Those are all of the things that keep pathogens and this yucky stuff from entering your body. Dr. Hill and Dr. whatever his name was, oh God, Dr. O, someone correct me here. They were talking about the introduction to, yeah, a Disney castle, except Disney is way more pleasant than some of the stuff that happens in our body. When Dr. Hill and Dr. O started talking about the adaptive immunity, I think that kind of blew everyone's mind a little bit. So when you think about innate versus adaptive immunity, innate is that wall, right? Those are physical barriers that protect us from the yucky stuff. When it comes to adaptive immunity, that's where your cells come in and they do a couple of things here. And this is where the protect, strengthen, and respond comes into play. So I'm gonna pull up my notes here because even I'm a science nerd, but I need to have my notes. But basically, your adaptive immunity is when, for example, you get a cut. Your B and T cells, they flood to the sites like paramedics. Okay, they get to that site and this pathogen is there, if there is a pathogen there, okay? What it does is the pathogen has specific fingerprints. It has those, like, you guys have seen like pictures of pathogens that have those little like arms on it on the side, right? That little arm is called an antigen, okay? And what that antigen does is it's kind of like the pathogen's DNA. It tells the B's and T cells if the pathogen is harmful or not. If it's harmful, what your body does is your B cells creates all these antibodies and white blood cells that go in and kill off that pathogen. And that's what Dr. Hill was explaining, was really how your immunity system works. It's important to understand the difference between innate immunity, because there's all these supplements and eating well, washing your hands, activity, getting sleep that protects those barriers, right? They maintain those fortresses. But the adaptive immunity also we need to support, right? With frankincense, with On Guard, with oregano, because those are gonna be your fighters, your soldiers coming in and killing all the bad stuff that comes into our body. So in a nutshell, that's what it was. I think for me, the biggest thing that I took away was really why they created On Guard and the synergy of the different oils that are in there. And when you think Dr. Hill started talking about monos, whatever, what is that word? Sesquiterpenes? No. Come on, I took the thing. I took the course. But he was talking about terpenes, right? Just take the course. That's what essential oils are made out of. Basically what he was saying is that these oils were specifically chosen because of its effectiveness at penetrating the cell, right? And that's what really is working here when we think about the immune system. So that was my big takeaway. And also it was really fun to see the labs. I was like, hands down, I told all of my team that I wanted to go see the labs next year and they're all coming with me. I don't care if it's an hour bus ride, we're going.
The hour bus ride was so good. I was telling Leah that was like really the one-on-one time that I got with her ever. Remember Leah? Is Leah on here? I'm like, remember Leah? And I don't even know if she's here. But I was texting her like, oh, it's so nice that we got to have that like one-on-one time on that bus ride. So campus tour next year. You know, when we get to On Guard, she mentioned synergy. And remember they were saying that the oils that make up On Guard don't work the same as when they're paired together. And that's what they're talking about with synergy, with the On Guard, the hero of immunity, the Deep Blue, the hero of relief, and the adaptive, the hero of mind and mood. So I wanna make sure we're talking about the synergy and then the heroes of each one of these kits, because this is huge for us in our businesses moving forward. Anybody else? Immunity? Notes? Beth mentioned about how we have immune memory. Remember that part? That was pretty cool. How whenever you get something, your body will remember and it will be stronger if it gets it again. That was pretty cool. Okay, how do you follow Alexis? Yes, okay, we'll just move on. We'll move to the next one. So pursue wellness immunity. Please take pictures of this if you want to take pictures of the slideshow. Alrighty, then we headed into day 3, 6 a.m., crying again. Pure business practices. It's interesting to look at the title because you think, oh, are they going to train us in the business, right? Was it that at all? No, it was them telling us how it was, was their mission to be pure in their business practices, which gives us the foundation to move forward in us selling on the other side, you know, getting oils into homes. Anybody takeaways with the co-impact sourcing, commercial versus small scale farms?
Me, I want to talk about this because I come from 10 plus years working in retail, and it has never, ever been about anyone else besides the supplier and the consumer. That's it. And so for an organization to do something the opposite way of people normally doing something in a business, right? Like, oh, we want the cheaper option. We want the easy way. We want, you know, the shorter pathway. For them to openly say, we could do it that way. We have the resources to do it that way, but we're not, because our heart is with people and we're going to act on people. That was just like, I mean, and it's funny because I've always known about co-impact sourcing and it's always been a favorite topic of mine. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this business in the first place. But to hear the founding executives talk about, you know, like their story, like I invested all of my money into this business. I signed over my freaking house, right? One of them said that they did that. And then to still not have it be about them many, many, many years later and about other people, it just like 603, it was just like crying emoji. That's, I think, what stood out to me from this session. Like we could take the easy way, but we're gonna do it the hard way for the sake of these communities that need us. There's not enough people out there that take their free time or take their resources and their business practices and actually benefit other people. I've seen it. I've worked for many organizations, and ultimately that's the reason why I'm not working for organizations anymore, right? I'm working for small communities and supporting those people who don't necessarily have the access to the things that we have. Like the clean water story, are you kidding me? Mother lost her child within a 12-hour range of not having those things that we take for granted. Crazy.
Yeah. Thanks, Alexis. So just looking at commercial versus small scale farms, it's easier and cheaper to buy a big plot of land. 3,000 acres is what they need to produce the amount of lavender oil that we need. Instead, what they do is they find 150 small farms that each have 10 acres. And that just touches 1,000 lives compared to 3 to 5 employees. They would, what does that make? Yeah, that does make sense. 3,000 acres of lavender. They would only employ 3 to 5 people, right? But when you work with the small scale farms of 10-acre plots, they work with 150 small farms. This is for lavender, and they affect 1,000 lives. Huge. Okay, they talked about lavender, peppermint, and tea tree. And if you guys want to rewatch that, that's available on your login. Type in the chat, what did you learn about co-impact sourcing with doTERRA? Now, wellness and relief. Remember this one? Wellness and relief. We're talking about having a healthy inflammatory response. You saw Kristen Purdue, I think she's a Presidential Diamond, talk about diet and how that supports a healthy inflammatory system. And then it went into Deep Blue. Anybody want to share about this? Well, okay. So basically, diet is a foundation that can support your healthy inflammatory response. So I would just go back into teaching people about the wellness lifestyle pyramid. Good diet, like eating right? And then managing stress, getting good sleep. We talk about reducing toxic load. And what was the fourth one? Guys, wellness lifestyle pyramid. I always get stuck on one. Exercise, okay? And so all of that, it goes with even relief, and then immunity, and mind and mood. So all of it, always bring in the whole wellness lifestyle pyramid to affect all of these areas. In the presentation, Kristen was giving very specific examples of food. I think we know the basics, not so much sugar, less caffeine, right? We know all those basics. Eat a lot more whole fresh food. Now it's just us connecting the dots with our customers of how that affects the pain in our body, the inflammation in our body, breaking down our immune systems, and all of that stuff. So I think the biggest part of the wellness relief that I was taking away was that everything contributes to this. Something that was suggested was to internally take turmeric dual chamber capsules, copaiba soft gels, and yarrow palm every day. Even with immunity, it was getting on guard in your body every day. And so helping our customers use these products every day to support all of these areas is going to be important, not just for their health, but important for the touching more lives, helping more customers, and solidifying our businesses as well. Okay. And then remember that discomfort can also be in the digestive system. And what was suggested was to take the Digestin soft gels. Of course, use your deep blue line. Any questions or anything else with wellness relief? Okay. Day 4. This one's so easy. Anybody? Biggest takeaway, pure love of humanity. We're celebrating 10 years of doTERRA's Healing Hands Foundation.
I'll share, because I actually really like this one too. It's all, Alexis, I'm so glad you got through the science stuff, because my notes look like chicken scratch and I literally need to rewatch and pause like constantly. But
That's, you know me and my feelings. I don't like talking about them. So
yeah. I love it, because honestly, like you rocked at that. I looked at my notes when I notes on that. I'm like, yeah, it literally has immunity on my page, and I was like, yep, that's pretty much my notes. But healing hand stuff, it's stuff that like I could easily retain without even having to take notes. I did take notes, but it was stuff that I feel like I could totally relate to. Yes, they were celebrating 10 years of empowering change. I got some of the facts from it. So the ones that I really wrote down that I thought maybe would help you in your business or you in your life was that actually Healing Hands donated over $30 million plus dollars through more initiatives, and their biggest one this year was actually Engaging Good, and they partnered with OUR to help human trafficking. For those wellness advocates, this is something that it stood out to me, and kind of going back to your why and your pure intention, wellness advocates that actually shared more about the Healing Hands Foundation and the background of that, when they shared doTERRA, got 40% more in enrollments and 30% more in commission. I tested that to see. So part of it was I actually participated in Engaging Good, and I'm so glad that they actually shared that with so many of us through digital connection. Was I was able to donate that, but when I look back at my reporting of like Instagram, because they can show you what your insights are, that Engaging Good actually got more likes and more comments and more love on my post than anything else I posted in the past year. Like, super crazy to me, but it's because people truly love helping other people, right? And if you have a pure intention to doing that and doing that in your business, and that's what helps you share your oils, you can definitely, the results will come. It's just you are giving of yourself is at the heart of it. I totally took that away from that as well. I love that there's wellness advocate led projects. So if you have a own specific concern that you really love and really want to advocate for, because you want to be an advocate of change. That's also a quote that they talked about, is being an advocate for change. If there's a specific thing that you want to work on, you can partner with your upline and submit a I guess it's a form to doTERRA.com or Healing Hands Foundation, and they will help match any of the proceeds that you help raise for your specific foundation, for your specific concern, or project that you want to work on. So for some of you who really are active in something you're excited about, I would highly recommend that as well. Yes, Herbert, up to $15,000 totally. Another couple quotes, follow your instincts, do what you can where you can, and when in doubt, just do. The heart of it, just do to help others. Sorry, I took a ton of notes on this, but at the heart of it is, I love that they're also including the Together roller. I wish I saw this session before the new products, because I would have added so much more Together rollers had I known that 100% of the proceeds go to the Healing Hands Foundation. I know that they're always looking for ways to help give back to communities. So like I said, if there's something you really love and want to be part of, take part, right? Be empowered to make a change in your own community, not just through oils, but through what you can do to help empower others to take part as well.
Thanks, Britt. Anybody else? How many of you, this was your first time getting a real understanding of doTERRA's Healing Hands Foundation? Oh, not me, but I was participating for you guys. Oh man. And what was cool was they were showing little icons. I need to memorize what the icons mean, but it was showing all the different partners, right, that doTERRA Healing Hands Foundation partners with. And then to see that you can do your own organization and partner with Healing Hands was really cool. I wanted to share this real quick, and then I want to share something else that Aiko can chime in on. I got an email this morning from Amazon. So something that I found out a little while ago, if you shop on Amazon and instead of going to amazon.com, you do smile.amazon.com and you select Healing Hands as a foundation, that, a portion of your profits according to what product you buy goes to Healing Hands. Weird, I got it just this morning and we were going to talk about this. It says, my email says, doTERRA Healing Hands Foundation received a new donation of $1,866. Thanks to customers using Amazon Smile every day, purchases generate over $200 million in donations to charities around the world. Overall, Amazon has donated $29,000 to doTERRA Healing Hands. And so it took me a while to train myself. It's not a lot, it's a little bit at a time, but it's something, right? It accumulates, and I'm a crazy Amazon shopper. I ship everything to my house. If something doesn't work out, you can just put it back in the box and return it at UPS store. So easy, right? Especially if you're a mom or you don't want to leave your house. So taking that extra step, smile.amazon.com, and then hooking it up to doTERRA Healing Hands. Slowly your purchases will accumulate and add into that donation. Otherwise, you can do a $1 donation on your LRP order, $1 Healing Hands donation every month, $5, and get your customers to do the same. The best thing you can do is share Healing Hands. I love doTERRA because they are part of charity. They have a Healing Hands Foundation that supports this area, this area, this area. That's near and dear to my heart. Something that you can do to help is this, this, this. Also, if you buy the Hope Roller, Rose Lotion, those are products that 100% of the profits go to the Healing Hands Foundation. The Together Roller for the holiday season will also be one of those products that 100% of profits will go there. Smile.amazon.com. Shauna. Okay, so Healing Hands, everywhere that we have co-impact sourcing, there is a Healing Hands project. So when Aiko and I went to Kenya, one of the villages, they highlighted it a lot, Lunga Lunga, where they were showing how they source Melaleuca in Kenya to help grow their community instead of doing it all in Australia, right? You guys saw that part. So we went there, and there was a school. So when the farmers get paid, they actually have to pay for their children to go to school. So that's how that's uplifting that community. So the school in that area, then doTERRA Healing Hands becomes part of that school. we got to visit that school, and those children shared with us what doTERRA has done for them in their school. Aiko, you want to share what we experienced?
Sure. I probably had a different experience than you did, but I was super emotional, and I didn't think I would be. Just when we were driving there, it's like you get so humbled because you see how they're actually living, and it's literally like the commercials that you guys see on TV, these stick and mud homes, and then the kids come running out in their tattered clothing, and they're just so happy, and they're waving, and they're singing Jambo, and I got super emotional driving up to the school. I had to throw on my sunglasses because I just started bawling, and I just started crying because they all like bum rushed the bus, and they were just so interested in what we were doing. And I think more because they were just so happy and affected by what doTERRA was giving back to them. So my experience, we helped go in there and put up a fence because some of the kids were escaping school, sticking out, cutting school, right? But so there was a group of them that actually put up the fence, helped put up the fence. But I told Ash from the beginning, I was like, I think I'm just gonna paint nails. I'm just gonna paint girls' nails because I have 2 toddler sons, and I don't think I'll be able to do that. I think I'm done with kids, and I just wanted that connection with kids and just being in their presence. So it was a super emotional day, seeing how simple things like that can brighten their day. It just like totally humbled me, and to see how far reaching doTERRA goes back down to the simplest things like that is what connects you, is just like, man, this company is freaking amazing. So probably very different from what Ash experienced. I know she got out and did a lot more with the kids, and she actually got to apply oils and stuff to, the families that were there as well. But I was literally painting nails for like an hour and a half, nonstop, hands in my face like this. And I was like, okay, this is like kind of overwhelming. And I got super hot. But I don't know, just being in the presence of people who are actually deeply affected in different ways. That, like for me, I'm just thinking, oh my God, my eyelashes are falling out on this trip. I mean, it's crazy. I'm like, first world problems. But anyway, that was just my thing. And I'm just all about it now. I'm all for the far reaching of what doTERRA does.
Thanks, Aiko. Yeah, that was awesome. Okay. So if you have any other questions about healing hands, type it in the chat. Otherwise, we'll move on to our next session. And that was more facts and science, wellness, mind, and mood. Remember, we talked about adaptive, and adaptive being the hero of mind and mood. And we had different speakers that day, including Dr. Nicole Stevens, which we saw throughout Connection. Does anyone want to share about what they got out of wellness, mind, and mood? Maybe Britt? Did you learn anything new about adaptive this time? Or was it like, I got this?
The capsules.
Okay.
Capsules and the oil. Okay, so all of the above, right? Like, gosh, this is such a good session. Partly because I feel like I'm diving deep into like emotion oils to help myself. So I'm learning so much, but I can't believe how much time and thought they actually put into these capsules. And I never really look at the ingredients. I'm always like, yeah, I believe what doTERRA says. And I'm like, I never understand why. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you why. Adaptive blend is a mixture of 4 different things. The first part is oils. And I literally told this to my customer over a text message yesterday because I was like, yo, this is the shiznit. You need to make sure you get some for yourself. So 4 oils, and the way they chose it was because they looked for oils that were high in linalool and limonene, which is both calming and uplifting. Sorry, I'm distracted by the chat from Alexis. I can't. Yes, that's literally what I said. I'm that person. But yes, they chose 4 oils that were really high in those percentages for uplifting support as well as calming. But I never understood what ahi flower, because I know more about oils than other things, but I never understood what ahi flower is. Ahi flower is actually from the UK or Britain, and it's high in omega fatty acids. And the reason why they included that is because it's to help maintain the structural integrity of your brain cells. And to do that, your body must absorb lipids or fatty acids, hence ahi flower. So when you talk about something that is going to help peak cognitive performance, and honestly, when they launched Adaptive, they said it's not only for calming and soothing with like stress and anxious feelings, but they're like peak cognitive performance, people. And I never knew what that really meant until I realized how and why your body needs things like fatty acids and lipids to be absorbed to be able to maintain the balance of your emotions and help cognitive function. Then I was like, okay, what is gamma? No idea what it is. There's 100 milligrams in it, the second highest ingredient in our Adaptive capsules. And it helps with, they said, the brakes of your brain. So when you feel like you're just like overwhelmed, and that's me when I'm month end, where I'm like, where's this? What am I gonna do this? Did I follow with this person? Did I go? And I keep going to the point where people are like, did you even eat today? It's the brakes of the brain to help you take a moment. And sometimes if you can't tell yourself to just breathe, you have to absorb things like gamma to help make your body breathe, or help put the brakes to, pump your brakes. Exactly. Pump your brakes. And then the last one, I don't even know how to say this right. Celestium tortuosum, I think that's how he said it, or Celestium kawa is how he said it in the session. And it's sourced from South Africa, and South Africa basically considers that the greatest cheer of your spirit. So if you're looking for something that's really gonna help relieve those feelings of anxiety, it's that component, not necessarily the linalool, which is going to help calm. It's that component and ingredient, Celestium tortuosum, that's going to help you. That's my biggest takeaway of that session. I loved it.
Thanks, Britt. So those of us who have like gone to convention could have easily been like, oh, we know, I learned about Adaptive. They announced it last year. There's so much to learn, and they're constantly, like doTERRA is constantly trying to do more research and trying to come up with different education to keep teaching us about each of these products. These are our permanent products. They're not going away. So what more can we share, and how can we build the belief more in the Adaptive line and in the hero of the Mind and Mood kit, right? Or Mind and Mood targeted wellness area. So other key points: take care of yourself. Adaptive is a great oil to use for your mind to bring it to ease, and one of the best oils to use for your emotional health. And so who has Adaptive? I hope everyone. Herbert we need to get him some. Okay, so let's implement it even more. I was not taking the Adaptive capsules, so I moved it next to my supplements instead of kept it in the cabinet. If you feel like you could really implement that into your everyday, move it next to your supplements. Okay. And then was this our last section was day 4, pure intentions. Okay, this is like, I think this might have been my favorite one, or it's so hard to choose. This might have been my favorite one. So I'm going to ask you guys, because especially since there's a lot of you who haven't gone to convention, or you're a brand new builder, or you're not a builder yet. What are your biggest, like what impacted you the most in this session? You can either chat or unmute. Otherwise, it's open to anyone.
I'll share. Okay. I was afraid. This was actually, my favorite. I have the most notes on this section. Probably because I could pay attention the most to, but I think everything that they said really resonated with me and where I'm at in my business and with my team. And I wrote down so many quotes from like Eliza, from Michelle, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this is all speaking to me right now. And I really cried at a bunch of the things they were saying. I'm trying to look at my notes because this thing. Like I loved how Eliza talked about it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Because I think, yeah, like so many people feel like I have to do it so quickly. I have to do it like this. If I don't, then I'm a failure. But I love that she said, you know, I did it at my pace. I did it at what worked for me. And that's the beauty of this business, right? You can go as fast as you want to go, or if you want to build slowly and do a foundation. And I think for new builders, when they see like, oh, there's all these diamonds, there's all these higher ups, I feel like they try to rush, and then they compare themselves, and then they're like, oh, I'm not as successful. And so I always like try to tell them like, no, I've been doing this for a while and I'm going for silver. So I was like, there, go at your pace, go what works for you. And then I loved how Michelle shared that she just does that from home. And when she said, involve your kids, because I'm home with my kids, and she's like, you know, try to make it fun for them. And I think that's what resonated with me a lot, was she was like, make it fun for them, involve them in it, so they're not like, oh, mom's working on this, and they're like, ugh. And I cried at that part because I was like, yeah, because I said they're so excited when I got to do stuff, and they're like, can I help? And I'm like, yeah. I was like, but don't spill the oils. But I love that she said that, yeah, do that. And then I think for newer builders, like, because I have a lot of new builders now, I really love that they talked about, you don't need to know everything, because I didn't when I started. And I love how, I forget who said it, but I wrote it, jump in and just do it. Teach off of what you know and what resonates with you, what drew you to start this business, to start with oils. Teach about that. And people are going to be drawn to that, like your success stories, your testimonies. Go off of that. And so I feel like this whole section was just so like, I loved hearing from everyone. I loved them sharing like their hearts. But yeah, that was probably my favorite session, and I took so many pages of notes.
Love it. Anybody else want to share about this section? Were you guys inspired? And did you guys pick up some awesome quotes? Did you see someone that you could relate to? Right? Everyone has a different story. I love that they had all those different builders, different kinds of builders. Yeah, awesome. If you did not see this session and you're doing this business, or you're thinking about doing this business, please watch it. It is very inspiring for no matter where you are in your business or in your life. Okay, so yeah, I love, if you guys don't know Liza, she's our sister, and so I'm sure you'll see her around, but she represented Hawaii big on that, in that session. Okay, so if that's all, add in anything else you would like to in the chat. I just want to go.
I'm
yes.
eating hot dog.
You're eating a hot dog. Okay, can you talk to your dad for a little bit? I'm almost done. I'm eating a hot dog. Where did she get that? Okay. So don't forget to watch any replays that you want to watch. You have that availability till October 31st. And then look at the bonus content. So I watched a bonus video last night about there's a doctor who did like a study with her Petri dishes, testing oregano, thyme, and lemongrass against microorganisms. And what she saw was that no colonies were growing when she applied oregano over 48. She watched it over a time lapse, and oregano is huge. And so I think that even inspired me to not only take oregano when we need it, but every day, right? Yeah, heavy hitter. Awesome, you guys. So watch that little bonus content. It's a pretty short video, but I love that it's a doctor who did her own trial and then spoke about her results. Lots of bonus content. And then do not forget the doTERRA home, the family room. There's the guy like goes through all the holiday products. The bathroom, she was showing the adaptive bath oil that's going to come out for holiday. And I thought that was pretty cool. So use that, utilize it. And then our upline, Maile, in our team call on Monday, she was saying, if you know anyone that you could, that you think you want them to see this, pull up your screen, meet them on Zoom, and play that section for them, or have a watch party with your mom at your house, or whatever you want to do, and share these videos with people. Those of you who are like, I wish I could show this to people, obviously it's in the connection access, and it's only available till October 31st. However, look on doTERRA's Instagram, look on doTERRA's business Facebook page, and look at doTERRA's YouTube channel, and find things that speak to you, even doTERRA's website, that you want to share, that is on your heart, and use it to get the message out. Okay, awesome. Website is pursue2020.doterra.com. And I'm asking you guys, I'm quizzing you guys, what date is this content available until? How long do you have to watch bonus content, doTERRA Home,
October
rewatch? Good job. October 31st. Oh yeah, it is Halloween. Gosh, you guys, this time is flying. What are we doing for Halloween? Virtual trick-or-treat. Oh my God, this is nuts. Okay, let's go to my house. Let's go to my house. We'll just, like, all the adults will stand in different areas of the yard, and then the kids will run around the yard in the dark and trick-or-treat. Okay, I'll bring hot dogs. Apparently Gigi eats hot dogs. All right, anybody else have anything else? I hope this was good, a good closing, a good summary, transition. Choose what you want to get out into the world. Don't feel overwhelmed. Share what's on your heart. And I hope you guys are motivated in the business. I'm excited to see what you do. You guys are so funny. Okay, thanks. Oh, shoot, yeah. There's the kids. All righty. Thanks, you guys. We did it within an hour. Yay, us! Okay, lots of love to each of you, and diamond dreams. Okay, putting it out there. All of our goals and all of our dreams, and cheer each other on. Okay, have a good night, you guys. Thank you, thank you. Take care.